Okay. Welcome to PNV Technical HUB. So in this session, we are going to discuss about code operations using data list. So this example, we'll see how to work with the data list using ASP.NET. So the first concept is, let us understand what is the use of the data list. So basically, data list help us to provide the data in either vertical or horizontal direction. This is one of the data bound control which is available in the ASP.NET. One of the most use cases with the data list is we can display the data in either tabular format or non-tabular format, or either it could be in a vertical direction or horizontal direction. You don't get multiple editing facilities. You don't get multiple, facilities like paging, sorting. This kind of an activities will be less in use, and you can apply your own styles if you want to be do. But it is not as competitive with your grid view. But still, data list help us to display the data in a list view. That is the major, role of this data list control. This control is available from the system.web.ui.web controls as it was known to you, and it has always been derived with templates. And by using this data bound control, we'll be make use of the predefined templates. And if you understand the features, so data list supports only editing and selecting only. You don't get adding of the data. So you don't get sorting of the data. This type of things will not be available. And whenever you work with a data list control, it possesses a display direction layout. So this layout will be either in the vertical and horizontal direction. And we can also display this data list view by using the repeat layout. So basically, if you want to display in the table, we can take the repeat layout as a table. Or if you don't want to take in a table structure, we can take the repeat layout as a flow. So this is the thing. And the common data list templates will have the common templates like header template, item template, and then alternative item template, selected item template, separator template, edit item template, photo template. These are the common templates that we will be work out with the data list control. So all these are self-explanatory, as you already aware of. We discussed in the last session, like header for displaying of the heading data items. You will be display the items. Likewise, anyway, this information is available in my blog. You can go through that. So now let us jump into the example, and you can also view the source code of this example in the given link below. And here my Facebook and YouTube channel links are available. So please go through that for your complete source code. And example presentations can be available. And even you can subscribe to my channel. So whenever you need to know something related to the technologies of Microsoft related articles. So now let me work out with this thing. So first I would like to go with new project. So to work out with this one, I just click on file new website, and this is the one. And I would like to store this example in one of the folder. So let me take me to that folder. So 2023, and this is related to the data list ASP.NET. And I can mention that this is a data list EX example. So as we already discussed that, so it needs a database interaction. So let me take a table. So TBL. So this table is already been available from my last example. TBL department. This is the table. I can take this dot tables here, and we can take the where name like departments. I have already created the table, so we can make use of the TBL departments table. So in this TBL departments, we have a display of the different departments, and we can make use of this one. First, I'll be take the empty as a template. So let us quickly get into that. And as you know that we can pass the data by using the insertion process. So now let me take a new page, so which is right click and click add new item. This is a p1.aspx. I'll be mentioning it as a p1.aspx. So here it will take one table, so to display our data. with for 5 rows itself. Okay. We'll be add a few things like code, name, location. Enter code, enter name, enter location. And I can also be display this data. So with we have to be take this data from the user, right? So we'll be place the text box. This is a text box, and this is also another text box, and this is also another text box. And here we'll be place the button. I can mention this as the insert. And here we can also be place our ID as a BTN insert. And I'll take another button. So for displaying of the data, you can mention it as a display. And this is PTN display. Okay. So now I'll also change the IDs of the text box. And this can be TXT code. So we have to give the meaningful names. So contextual names. So, and that's the reason we are providing this information. So I'm typing this is a TXT location. So this is the data that I am passing. So now if we want to be insert the data, so let us prepare the queries for inserting and deleting of the data. I just click on insert. So I would like to take the code which is common code which is required. So I'll be declare the connection command, the data set, data adapter, whatever the things that are required. Anyway, select this one if you want to be get the namespace. Select this and use control dot, automatically you will get the namespace here. And similarly, data set is also be required for us. So which is that system.data. And you can be get the connection string. So as you know, like I can derive my connection string from the app settings. So configuration manager is a respective thing, so that we can use this one. So configuration is managed, configuration manager is from system.configuration, and we can use the connection strings concept. I can mention this connection as CON, and then I can make use of the toString. So try to avoid toString instead of that, have it to go with convert.toString, because so toString gives you the null reference and exceptions. This can be avoided if you go with the convert.toString. So I'm just providing this as a connection string. Okay, I'll be make it. I'll be make the web config declarations for it. So if you want to be declare your connection string, so you can use this one connection string, and you can give the name, add your name equal to I given the name of my connection CON right here. So you can make use of this CON. Okay, then so you can give the connection string. So in connection string, server name, and all these things are common for you. So like you can declare according to your server name, username, which is user ID, password. Likewise, you can declare the things. So you can declare like this server dot, so UID dot, and then password equal to, you can give the respective password, and you can use database, whatever the database that is required for you. That's how you can manage. And now for you, so I would like to insert the data. So if I want to insert the data, so I can go with an connection.open, and as well as I can also go with the connection.close. So connection.open and connection.close. So anyway, to insert the data, so let me go with my blog. So where we already written a code for the insertion and deletion kind of things. So we'll be take the copy paste the code so that we can avoid the time wasting process of this. So now if you see here, if you want to be add the data, so this is the command that we have used here. So and then data inserted, and then you can bind the data, whatever the data binded is required for us. So now I'm trying to paste the same thing here. So we can close the connection here once we are done. So connection closing is done. And here, so created by, I am not taking anything from the user. Simply, I can mention it as an admin itself. Okay. So one, and created on it is for the get date itself. So you can use this one, and connection is there and a data inserted successfully, you can make sure that it is inserted successfully. And then we have to mention the bind data. So in order to bind data, so I'll be take this one. I can also take the list view to bind. So select, so I'll be take some table name. So my table name is nothing but departments. I can go with the departments table to get the data. Now this design is done, and here I would like to display my data list. In order to display your data list, you can take that, you can go to the data, and here you will find the data list. So this is how you can mention your data list. So now this data list I have to be rename it. So DL departments. I can mention this as the name of our data bound control. So now this is an ID that we have to be refer here. So we can pass this one. So you can pass this one. As we discussed that this will be works within templates only. So we just only be shown you how to insert the data. Now, if you want to be display the data, so let me show you how to display the data. I just click on the display data. So this is the button. Simply I can call the bind data. So the moment you call the bind data, you won't get data. So you have to be work with the templates. Like based upon the templates only, you can get the things. Otherwise, you won't get the things. Okay. So now let us get into and understand how the templates are getting here itself. Thereby we can have an understanding of how we can manage the things with the help of the templates concept. So as we already discussed that, so this control will have a very less number of templates when compared to the other things, and as well as it has a less number of events also. So now let us get into the design part of this one. So here, whenever you go with the design part, we will understand about the different types of events. So primarily I'll be go with data. Generally we have the data key names, right? So here also we have a field called data key field. It is not as a data key names. So generally in grid view, in other form view, list view, you will be use it as a data key names, but here the name is different. That is nothing but data key field, but the concept is the same. So we have to be provide the identity column or the primary column which are required for us. So whenever we use this one, so we can use this as an ID. So this is how we can manage data key field ID as ID, so that we can read that in the representational purpose of a particular row. Okay, then we can define the templates. So as we know that item template we can place, then also we can be place the edit item template, and as well as we can also whenever we place this edit item, and we can also place the link buttons which are respective to this one. So let me quickly go to and place the templates. So here whenever I want to be go this one, so first is item template. So this is how I have my item template. Whenever I go with this item template, so here you can provide your data in the tabular format table, and you can take the border as 1, and then you can also be make it as align equal to center. And if you want to be display this data, so you can display this data tr 3D, and then say for example, so you have the code. Suppose if you want to display the code, you can mention that. So whenever you want to be go with your item template, so we will be use a bind expression, right? So hash eval. So eval is the bind expression that will help us to bind our data. So this is how you have the code itself. And here I'll be mentioned some label to display this code. This is the code. Okay, now if you want to be display the remaining columns, what are the remaining columns? So we are done with code, and as well as we have a name also, so we can make use of the name itself. And then we can also have the location. We can also go with the location itself. So location. So likewise, we can define the things, what are the things that are required for us. So, and this is the way that how we will be placed. Say for example, if you want a separator template, okay, you can give the separator template here itself. So whenever you go with a separator template, here you can also be choose the style for that one. separator item style. So you can make the background color or 4 color only will give. So this would be 4 color. It is dark red or something. So I can give the style itself. So whenever this one, so you will get the thin line here itself, and here you will also be mentioned in the table, or else you can also mention HR. HR is nothing but horizontal row itself that can be there. See, in between each and every record, you will get this horizontal row. This is coming right one line. So that can be mentioned by using the separator template. So in item template, so we have a provision of we can place editing of the data, right? And as well as if you want to be do the deletion, you can also place the deletion. So that can be mentioned by using your link buttons also. So here what we would like to do is we'll be take your item template. In the item template, we'll take another TR to present this information. So this is your TR, and you can take this TD. So I'll be mention the column span so that I can merge 2 columns into one. So column span equal to 2 because we have a TDs, 2 TDs is there. One is for label and other is for your data. So we are merging these 2 things. Now we would like to place the link button. So ASP link button. So ID equal to LNK. This is for edit. Say for example, I can mention that LNK edit. So run at equal to server. This is common. We can make use, and then we can also be present the command name. Whenever you go with the command name, so this is related to the edit, and as well as you can also go for the text itself. This is also for the edit itself. So that's how I can manage this link button, and you can have another link button which is for delete, LNK delete, and here I am managing the command name as delete. Okay, and this is another thing, that is text is method delete. And if you want to be place any confirm button before you delete, so you can also use one confirm button. So we have the on client click. So this is an option that we can use equal to, so return confirm. So we can make use of this one, return confirm. Are you sure want to? Are you sure to delete this record? So that's what we have to be consider. We are asking one more confirmation from the user. If user press OK, then automatically as means we will be delete the record. So this is how we have the item templates. Okay. Similarly, how we have the item template, I can also take the 8 item template here itself. So now I can take this edit item template. So this is my edit item template. For every template, you can also give the styles, whatever the styles that is required for you. Okay. So whenever you are editing, so you no need any other fields to be required here itself. Simply we will be take the text boxes to present this information, right? So here what I'm trying to do is I'll take the text box here, ASP text box, and ID equal to txt e code. So because this is for the purpose of the edit, and run it equal to server, and then I can take the text itself. So text, if you want to be use the bind expression, so we already discussed it in the last previous video, so that we have to use a single quote and to get this one. So I'm just closing this text box. Similarly, we can do the same activity for all other places, like for name also we required. So this is nothing but your EUL name, and this should be txte name. So I am removing this one. So because editing means a user need to be supply the data, that's the reason we are taking the text box. So and then location also I am trying to take, so which is nothing but txte location. So this is how we can manage the things by using our 8 item. Once you click on this 8 item, so you can also have a 2 options. One is to update the data, and other is to cancel the options. So if you want to be update the data, I can mention this LNK update, and the command name is also update, and text is also update. And if you want to be cancel the data, then I can use cancel. So then my command name is also cancel. I can say that LNK cancel. So that's how I have designed the editing option. So that is with the edit item template. Now let us get into this one. So here your data will be looks like this, and whenever I am trying to run this page, so let us run this page, and let us click this display option. Anyway, connection string I didn't mention as of now, so I would like to set my connection string also. So let me do that activity. Okay, so now I have made the connection string setting. So let us execute this page. So I would like to click on the display option. When I click the display option, so you can see the data which is available in the department table. So like it has the data that is code, it is displayed in the zigzag way. So let us set this option here itself. Now, if you want to be set this option, what we have to do is I'll be mention it as a for the table. I'll be mention it as a for this table. This is the table, right? I can mention it as width equal to 100%, and you can see that here also you will get in edit item template also you will get width equal to 100%. So now I just refresh this page. So now let us explore the properties which are related to the data list. If you check this data list property, you can see that. So whenever you go with the properties, here we have a show footer option, show header option. So by default, those are available. That is in true mode. And you don't see any kind of an paging activities related to this one. So it is showing the data. So in the two-way format itself. Now I would like to mention one of the important feature is that is nothing but the layout. So if I want to go with the layout, so where I told the repeat direction is the thing, so which you can set the layout. So you can mention it as an horizontal. So whenever you place this in the horizontal, automatically your data can be displayed in the horizontal way. Why I am getting only 2 means because I have the only 2 records in the system. That's the reason I am getting the 2 records. So now I would like to add other department UI. So I can mention it as a user interface, and then location. I can mention it as a Hyderabad, and I click on insert. The moment I click on insert, data would be inserted, and you can see that the other department is available for me. Okay, this is how you can display the data in a row itself. This is a separate kind of a item that can be displayed here itself. Now I'll be go with an option called editing and deleting. If you want to be go with an editing, so you have to be work out on the edit item. And if you want to be go with a delete, so it is asking me to delete. And again, I have to be implement the respective code to perform the edit and delete operations. So now let me go with the step-by-step process to work on the events related to this data list control. Suppose now let us stop the debugging, and we'll go with the data list. We'll go to the event. So we have an event. So this event is nothing but basically if you want to be go with any of the commands, we'll be go with the different types of events, right? So suppose if a user want to be edit, so then we will be go with an edit command event. So this is the event that we need to be work. And similarly, if you don't if user don't want anything, then cancel command is the event that we can work with that event. See, when compared to the other data bound controls, you have the less events. That is what you have to observe here. And if you want to go with an update, so you have the update command. This is the event, update command event. You can also go with an update command event. And whenever you want to be delete the data, so then you can be go with the delete command event. So just go with the delete command, and you can see that delete command is the event. So that's how you can mention your respective events, and based on these events, you can perform the things whatever it is required for you. So finally, I'll be placed one by one. So edit command event, as you know, DL dot. So edit item index is equal to e dot new index. So edit item index. Okay. So edit item index. So whenever you work with this edit command, so you have to be provide the new index related to this. So here edit command. Okay. No. So you have to pass the data here itself. So you no need to do any activity here. So you have to get the data. So edit item index is equal to e dot item. So here we'll be use e dot. So generally in grid view you can use that e dot new index, but here e dot item dot. So item index. This is the property that you have to do, and then you can use the bind data method. Suppose if user cancels the command, suppose if you don't want to be perform anything, so then we can use your data list name means id dot edit item index is equal to -1, so that it will be come to the normal mode, that is nothing but read only mode. So that's how you can be work with the cancel command. Now we'll see how to work out with the update command. So in order to update the command, so like basically we'll be go for an update operation with very limited data. So let me take we need naturally we need id. So and then we also need 2-3 fields we have placed, right? So code is required, and then we can also be take name, and we can also be take location. So these are the fields that I have placed. So now let us read how we can be read the data. So whenever you want to be read the data, so you can get all this information by using data keys concept. First we need the ID. So in order to get the ID, so what we have to do is e dot item dot, oh sorry, not e dot. So your control name. So what is your control name? DL departments dot. We can use data keys. So data keys is an option. So based on this data keys, you'll find the item index e dot item dot item index. So that's how you can get this information. Okay. So you have to be convert this information to the integer format, because you have taken this integer variable. Convert dot to int 16 or 32 according to the requirement you can take, and then you can pass this data. Similarly, if you want to be read the data like a code information, name information, like you know the find control concept, right? You can be go with this one. First code equal to e dot item dot find controls. So you know the find control, like whatever the name that you have given for the code for editing option, you just copy that code. So you given txt e code. So you can give this code. So this is nothing but your find control. So then after you can be convert into the text mode. So here we will use this text box, and then we can make use of text. So this is the text property. That's how you can be declare the things. Okay. Similarly, you also need name and location. You can provide those data here itself. So txt, this should be e name, and location, this should be txt e location. And other things like you already worked on the command for our previous control, that is form view, and here we can see that how we will be pass the command itself. Connection object and data saved, and will be place all the things. We can take the connection, open and command. So we'll be pass the code and text, okay, directly. So I am trying to pass the code itself. So there we taken directly from the text box. So now name, so directly we can take the name because we are reading in the form of the string itself. And similarly for location also, directly we can take it as a location itself. And finally, you know that ID. So directly we have taken the ID as a variable. So just I am taking the ID itself. So this is I given it as a small ID. Okay. Then will we execute this one, data updated, otherwise data not updated, and will we place this else, and finally will we call the bind data method itself. Next, delete command. So in order to delete, so if you identify the ID, so you can delete your data very easily, right? So you no need any other data that you can delete your data. So now I would like to take int id is equal to, so how you can get that? So your control name, that is DL departments dot data keys. So after you can use e dot item, right? E dot item index. By using that, you will get this ID, and then so this is how you can place, and you can simply copy the code of the delete itself. So this is the code of the delete. So simply we can delete the data and we can apply the bind data method. So that's how you can perform all the code operations which are related to your data list control. Okay. So only the limitation with your data list is it doesn't support paging, sorting this kind, and adding of an items directly from the data list. So that is what the limitation that you have to be understand by using your data list control. So anyway, we have added the data, like 3 records are there. So now let me modify one record. So whenever I use this one, okay, enter code is okay. So I just click on display the data. So my data will be displayed here itself. So now I click on edit. If I click on the edit, so here you will get this data here itself. UI, I'll mention UI and UX, user interface, and user experience. Okay, and I'm changing this to Hyderabad to Pune, and I click on update. Whenever we click on update, so this data got updated, and if you check here, data got updated. Okay, maybe location it is not saved properly. That's the reason here also that empty came to this one. And once why it is not done, so let us understand. So update txt location.text. Okay, let me check. So whether I have given the txt location, yes, it is txt location only. And if you check here, okay, it is also location. Now we'll see what is happening here. Okay, so I didn't change it to txt location. It was a location only. So that's the reason. This is not txt location, right? So we have taken in the location as a variable. So because of that, this issue exists. And whenever you change this one, and again, you have to be set your control. So data list to edit item index equal to -1, so that it will come to the normal position. Now I have also added this code. Now let us check, and again we will be update this data. Now the location was updated as an empty, so we'll be make it change. And modified by also. So here whenever I update the data, name, location, modified by, I have placed it as an location. So it should not be like that. So I can mention the static value that it is an admin itself. So I'm just using this one. Okay, both the things I'll try to update now itself. So now again I'm running this. So now I click on display. So now quickly I will go for an edit. So this is the edit option. So I can mention it as a Pune, and I click on update. So data get updated, and you can see that it is come to the normal position, and you can see your data get updated, and modified by is also be changed here. So it is updated. So now I want to be change this one. It asked me whether I can, if I click cancel, it won't delete. And if I click OK, then automatically it deletes the data, and you can see that only 2 records are there. So that's how you can perform your code operations using data list. Thank you so much for watching this video. And for more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel, and you can subscribe to my Facebook page, and try to share this to your known people who are in the same stream of implementation. Thanks. We'll see you again with another video.